It's interesting. I kind of I measure success in life not by stuff,
right?
Not by cars, not by homes, not by stuff. I measure my success in life by my 2 daughters.
All right, guys, Sandy Strammer, we're back at the 6. We are here at Bakari Grill. The joint is jumping, as they say, at Bakari Grill in Washington Township, New Jersey, with John, Alexa, and Lisa Amaratis. And once again, I'm sitting with my man, Mr. John Ebanietti. And we're going to talk a little bit about what life is like today with John Ebanietti. I want to talk about professionally, how he got involved in what he does each and every day. And I want to talk a little bit about what drives him. And then we're going to talk about that passion project, because I think it's going to be something that will blow your mind. But John, let's talk a little bit about how you got into your field professionally. What is it that drove you into financial planning?
Started about 30 years ago after I got out of law school. Took a position with Chase Bank in the Chase Management Program. And it was on the institutional side. So we were just dealing with numbers, not so much with people. Stayed in that position for about 4 years. A lot of traveling, a lot of time.
You married at this point?
No.
Okay.
No.
Easier to travel when you don't have a family, right?
Correct. Easy to put the time in. It was a very demanding, taxing period in my life.
And you were about what age at this point?
I was 26 at this point.
Okay.
Took some time off. Did okay for myself. I was in a position where pretty much wanted for nothing at that point in my life. Squirreled away some pennies and wanted to pursue something in the investment industry, but not on the institutional side, not on the non-personal side. Ended up taking my Series 7 exam, which you need for the financial advisement side. Passed my Series 7 exam. Took my first position with Payne Weber.
Okay.
Went through their training program. No salary.
Right. Eat what you kill.
Exactly. Everything was commission-based. The beauty of that was the drive for success again.
Sure.
Drive for accomplishment. Started connecting with individuals on the what we call the retail side of it, the financial planning side of it. And I started to see what I was doing was affecting people's lives, helping them towards retirement, helping them fund their children's education,
right.
Helping them accomplish life goals. And from there forward, just became extremely successful for me. A lot of hard work, a lot of time, a lot of sacrifice. But buying into the individuals was the most important part.
Critical. But let's go back for just a second. When you first get started, right? Because I know people look at you today, they see the success, but don't realize the hard work when you first got involved on the retail side. Talk about the fact that it was 100% commission based, so you eat what you kill. It's a noble way, in my experience, to earn, because it's pure. And you didn't have a book of business when you got started. You had exactly 0 clients when you got started.
Correct.
How do you get that from 0 to where you are today? How'd you get started?
The core was establishing the relationships with individuals, earning their trust. From earning their trust came referrals, and from treating the referrals in the manner that you treat the individual clients led to more referrals.
Right.
95% of our new client base now is all referrals.
Right.
We don't do seminars. We don't mass market.
Right.
I feel when you do seminars and when you do the mass marketing, you're out there trying to sell a product.
Right.
when you're selling a product, people are buying a product, and there's no loyalty behind the purchase.
Well, it's absent of relationship.
Correct.
Yeah.
Establishing the relationship, building the loyalty, building the trust, establishing that depth leads to longevity of the relationship, leads to greater referrals, leads to success.
It's a more sustainable business model.
Correct.
At the end of the day. More consistent, more sustainable.
Correct.
Early on, you're knocking on doors, you're picking up the phone, making phone calls. Not everybody says yes.
Correct.
Did you draw upon your competitive experience as an athlete, that it was
Absolutely.
time to work a little bit harder?
Maybe not harder, smarter.
Smarter, okay.
What was I doing wrong? I believed in what I was doing, so why were people saying no?
Right.
Was it in the way I was delivering my message? Was it the message itself? What was in the message? So it was breaking down the failure, reevaluating it, modifying what we were doing in order to create more success.
Yeah. We talked before about learning lessons from losses, if you will, and I think we learn more from no and from a loss than we ever do from winning, or an easy yes, if you will. We talk about that very often, especially I talk about that with my son Patrick in baseball. Just recently had a game where they were blown off the field by a team, and I said to my son, look for the lessons in the loss, because when you guys win a game, the team you played learned nothing today, right? But you guys need to learn something about yourselves individually, about yourselves as a team, and I think in business it's no different. When you are going through difficult times, you're just getting your business started, you learn from your losses, you learn from the no's, and you apply that moving forward so that you can improve and, as you said, work not necessarily just harder, but also smarter in what you're doing, right?
Agree 100%.
I love the fact that you take it from a relationship-based perspective. Is everybody in your organization cued in the same way, where it's more about the relationship than it is about the product?
Yeah, so I actually, I'm actually the senior partner. I actually manage a team within RBC.
Okay.
And, our whole mantra is about the relationship. Establish the trust, win the trust, be honest, highest level of integrity, and from there, the fruits come.
Are you more of a coach today?
I wouldn't say so much a coach, I would say more of a mentor.
Okay.
Whereas I think a coach, you are proactive, you're telling people what to do.
Right.
Whereas if you're back in a mentor position, they almost come to you for advice,
Right.
and they look to you for examples of success or how to proceed.
Right.
It's very it's harder to be a mentor than a coach. If you're a coach, you're being proactive, you're telling people
Right.
what to do. Whereas if you're a mentor sort of sitting back, where they're coming to you for the information, where they're coming to you to resolve problems, that requires a higher level of trust.
There's no question. There's no question. Otherwise, they're not coming to you.
Correct.
Yeah, no, that's interesting that you put it that way. So, as the managing partner, senior managing partner, you're ascribing a vision to where the organization is going. What do you see on the macro level today with respect to financial markets? We've been on quite a ride for the last, 8-9 years. Where do you see it going? Next 3, 5, 10 years? Are we in for a little bit of a challenge? Do we have to strap the belt a little bit tighter? What are you telling your clients today that you think makes sense in terms of the long-term play themselves? Because a lot of people get reactionary in markets like this.
And that's actually the hardest part of what we do, is to overcome the emotional knee-jerk that individuals feel. I've had relationships now for 30 years. I've had relationships now for 30 days. The difference is the relationship for 30 years, they've been through the storms of war.
Right.
They have fought the battle at Winterfell.
Game of Thrones, just a little reference right there for those of you that are paying attention.
So they've been through the battle of Winterfell, and they've seen that the plan, the philosophy, the strategy that we've laid out, while not always perfect, it's been consistent.
Right.
And we've been able to accomplish their individual goals. We are never about beating the markets. I don't care what the markets do. That's secondary.
I think I know where you're going here. You talk about focusing on the task at hand, and it speaks right to your level of individual handling with your clients. What their objectives are, you map towards their objectives versus a market, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, that's interesting, because I don't think everybody approaches what you do the same way. That's unique.
Yeah, and that's, that has kept us in the game, and it's almost nullified the emotionalism that the clients feel, because they've gotten to the point where they're like, okay, fine, we'll have a bad 3-4 months like we did in October, November, December, but now we sit here in April, and all of a sudden they're up 25,
no doubt,
almost 30%. So, again, it's overcoming that emotionalism. I've always focused on, we don't care what the markets do. We don't care.
Yeah, you can't be, and you know this, you can't be reactionary to what's going on today, because what's going on today is going to be wholesale different than 30 days from now and 60 days from now, et cetera. And the fact that you've had a 30-year, for lack of a better way of putting it, track record of success, when you speak from an objective perspective, your clients tend to listen.
Correct.
Yeah, that makes sense. Let's switch gears for a second. Let's talk a little bit about life for you today. Happily married for, you said, almost 30 years?
Almost 30 years.
Congratulations. Your wife's first name?
Lori.
Lori. And your 2 daughters?
My oldest daughter is Ariel.
Okay.
My younger daughter is Blaze.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about life today. What do you guys like to do together?
It's interesting. I kind of I measure success in life not by stuff.
Right.
Not by cars, not by homes, not by stuff. I measure my success in life by my 2 daughters.
Okay.
And who they are today, and what they will deliver to the world going down the road. My older daughter now is getting her master's in nursing.
Congratulations, good stuff.
She's going to become a nurse practitioner. She graduates next May.
Got a servant's heart, obviously.
Yeah. Graduated from Northeastern undergrad with health sciences. She lives up in Boston. My younger daughter, Blaze, graduated from Franklin Marshall's, captained the soccer team there.
Okay.
Got her undergraduate degree in animal behavior and anthropology. She leaves for graduate school in England in August.
Outstanding.
She's going to get her master's
Great
degree.
place to go visit, by the way.
Yep.
Lori, get your passport ready.
Yep. She's actually going there in June to look for apartments. So she'll get her master's degree there, University of Kent, and then she's going to go on, eventually get her PhD at Oxford University.
Outstanding. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
You got to be proud.
Yeah. Listen, I mean, I just, as a dad, as a parent, as a human being, my life is complete.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done what God put me on the earth to do in terms of creating the next generation.
Yeah.
So,
well, listen, I would argue this, John. I would say that, the next phase awaits you, and if the Lord wills it, grandchildren and that experience. And I can tell you that that changes the perspective completely. But, what an amazing legacy. I think that's what we all seek, is a legacy where you can look back and say, I've accomplished what I set out to accomplish. And you've got a beautiful family, 2 daughters that are succeeding at very high levels, that are happy, like genuinely happy, because I think that's the critical piece. A guy that I know once told me that you're only as happy as your least happy child. And I think that's an amazingly profound statement. But that, to me, is where your biggest success is, as you just said. Like, you look back and say, my 2 daughters are my legacy right now. You do have other things that you're working on too, though. I want to talk a little bit about your passion project, because I've alluded to it already, and it's called Kill the Climb. Tell us a little bit about Kill the Climb. First of all, what's the website people can go to if they want to donate? Because it's a charitable effort.
Kill the Climb.
KillTheClimb.com?
Yep.
So there it is, KillTheClimb.com. Make sure you get out there and support John. Tell us a little bit about what's behind Kill the Climb and who's going to benefit.
So this started about a year ago. I was in Kenya with my youngest daughter. She was over there doing some field work. And we took 3 days went on a outback safari
Wow.
in Kenya, and we spent 3 days at the base of Mount Kilimanjaro. We were probably 5 miles away, and the first morning I got up, it was about 5:15 in the morning. The sun was just coming up, and I looked up at this mountain. It's 21,500 feet to the top. Right in the middle of a flat plain in Africa.
Right.
Nothing else around it. Green, 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 and eventually a snow peak at the top.
Yeah, tell me there's no God when you see something like that, right? I mean,
You feel so connected at that point in time because this is pretty much where life started. So I said to myself, I'm going to climb that. And I planted a little seed in my mind. So I started doing some research, and I saw that there were a couple of organized hikes where they actually started a base camp. It's a 10-day trek to the top.
oh my God.
55 miles. It's a very slow trek because you have to get acclimated to the various heights so you don't get altitude sickness. I turn 60 next March, and my wife talked about having a 60th birthday party, going away or something like that. I'm like, you know what? Parties are okay, going away is fun.
It just didn't feel like what you wanted to do.
Yeah, I want to do something. I want to want to leave a mark. So I decided I'm going to hike to the top of Mount Kilimanjaro. But I want to serve a greater purpose. I want to get the self-satisfaction out of it, but I also want to raise money. And I want to raise money for several charities that will, again, impact individual lives.
Okay.
So I did some research, found some charities close to home, found some charities far away, charity that my wife is involved with.
Are they listed on the website?
Yeah, they're all listed on the website.
Good. Okay.
And the donation, there's only one donation option on the website, and that's $19.75.
Okay.
$19.75 for 19,750 feet.
From base to summit.
Base to summit.
Yeah.
I don't want big donations.
Right.
I want a lot
I love it.
of people to get
I love
involved. And I want to do it to create a sense of self-awareness for all these other charities.
Yeah, I love it. That's noble. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
You know, when we had a chance to sit down a couple of weeks ago, and you shared that with Double D and myself, we were blown away. We talked about you for a good hour after we had a chance to sit down with you, and really it was the driving force behind us getting you here on the 6th. And I thank you for making the time for us.
Thank you.
But I think it's important because most of the time when I hear experienced climbers talk about why they climb the mountain, a lot of them say, I climb it because the mountain's there.
Right.
Like that's what drives them. But for you, it was a little bit different. It was a spiritual connection and a chance to do some good in the world and spread the message with a very smart approach in terms of people making contributions of $19.75. I love the way you tie it all together. And I hope, for all the listeners out there on the 6th, you go over to John's website. Again, it's killtoclimb.com. $19.75. So for I guess that's about a half a Starbucks these days. But
much.
No, it's probably 3 Starbucks these days. You can help John spread some good in the world, and we hope that you do it. John, in closing out here on the 6th, I want to thank you because I know you're a busy guy. I know you have a lot going on. The fact that you took the time to spend with us here at the 6th means the world to me. I hope that you will come back after you kill the climb and tell us all about it. And we'll look forward to seeing you on the 6th sometime in the future.
Awesome.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys. This is Sandy Strami coming to you once again live from Bakari Grill. Leave us some comments below. We're ready, willing, and able to listen. You can find us on any one of the podcast platforms that are out there and catch us on YouTube for the live video feed. We'll see you next time on the 6th. We're out.